Welcome back, everybody, to our post-trade deadline analysis. I'm Matt, joined by Nick and Darius. Right now, Nick, let me introduce this one, and it is my team, the Edmonton Oilers, with their they didn't do any trade deadline moves, but they did do some moves prior to the deadline. Not a whole lot, not a whole lot. A few days ago, March 6th, which was 2 days ago at the time of recording, traded a 2024 first round pick and a conditional 2025 fifth round pick in exchange for Adam Henrique, Sam Carrick, in a 2024 seventh round pick. The Ducks retained 50% of both Henrique and Carrick's cap hits, and then the Oilers traded a fourth round pick in exchange to retain an additional 25% at Henrique's cap hit. So that was Ken Holland's big deadline splash, fellas. Thoughts?
Uh, love it. I love this trade.
Are
I'm
you
a,
being
I'm a,
serious?
as you guys know, I'm an Adam Henrique truther. I am an Adam Henrique truther. I've been an Adam Henrique truther for damn near 2 years. And the Oilers, they went out and got him. Now you may say, why did they give up a first? They need this depth, man. I think they needed a third. They needed a third line center. You have like the way that was going. I think Matt, you needed Nugent Hopkins to be on the wing. That's just how it
Yes.
was going. You had McDavid, Draisaitl, and last year, like I think, or a couple of years ago, they were able to have that 1-2-3 with McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, and it worked for a while. They weren't able to do that. They were trying guys at third line center. I think they had like the Derek Ryans of the world there. Ryan McLeod was there, but I think Matt, you said Ryan McLeod is way better suited for Draisaitl's wing. Now
Much better.
you bring in Adam Henrique, who has been very good on a shitty Dookie Kaka, as I said in an earlier video, Anaheim Ducks team. I think this is a good trade. I think I'm a little more high on it than some fans. Dude, the guy Adam Henrique has 42 points, 61 games on that Ducks team, and he's been a net positive in terms of expected goals. It's insane on that shitty team. Now I believe he is a free agent. After this season, I think it's a great trade for the Oilers. Sure, you're giving up the first. I mean, the Oilers can't draft well anyway. If you look at the guys they picked over the last few years, none of them are playing regular NHL games. Goals, Holloway's, Brobergs, none of them are playing in the NHL. So to me, it doesn't matter. My opinions on those prospects aside, they're not playing. Someone doesn't like them in the organization. They're not playing. And Sam Carrick, let's talk about him just a little. Former Leaf. Not that my analysis is going to be based on his time with Toronto because that was fucking years and years ago. Another depth option. I think he fought yesterday, right?
Yeah, he did fight Matthew Olivia yesterday.
Man, I like this trade for the Oilers. I think it's good. Again, I think I'm a little high on it than others. I think Adam Henrique is a good get for them. He's going to slot in perfectly. It's a good trade for Oilers, man. I think people are a little more down on it than they should be. Matt, though, before we go to Darius, what are your thoughts on this trade?
Yeah, no, I liked it. Like you said, like the first round pick, like with the team that you have right now and the situation that you're in heading into the playoffs, like you need to do whatever and whenever you can to make this team better. And I think Ken Holland didn't do that today, but he did that 2 days ago by picking up Adam Henrique.
It's a good trade. Darius?
Yeah, I think it's a good trade. And like you said, I mean, you've convinced us. We had like a couple videos that we did last week or the week before, and you mentioned Adam Henrique too, and I was kind of, I'm jumping on the train a little bit too. So it's a good pickup for the Oilers on the Henrique side of things for the scoring, all that stuff. The fact that he's a good player on a bad team, because we've seen so many times this year the charts that come out and like players who play on bad teams, like it's just horrible. So that's a bright spot. I think he will really help the Oilers out big time. Like you mentioned, Sam Carrick already bringing the boom, getting in a fight and kind of initiating himself into the team. That was good too. And it kind of, I don't know, to me it kind of came out of nowhere. I knew the Oilers were going to make a move, but I wasn't expecting that, if that makes sense.
There was a little bit of like traction behind it, like
A little bit, but it wasn't anything where like, I feel like so often now we're like, this is definitely happening. Like you hear about something, you're like, this is definitely going to happen. With the Oilers, it was kind of, I don't know, there's a little bit of traction, but you're like, all right.
My thing with Henrique is he was a guy that could have fit literally on any team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Third line center, can play the wing as well. And a lot of people were like, oh, the cap space is too much. People who say that are crazy, man. There is, I'm so tired of this. We don't have enough money shit because all these guys get double retained anyway. I'm tired. It's like GMs aren't thinking hard enough. Do your fucking jobs. Like everyone does this shit now. So I'm next year when this comes around again and teams like, ooh, I don't have any money. Fuck you. You could have do. So that's my
You
thing.
could
I think
find
it's
it. You could
a
find it.
good trade. They didn't take anything off the roster. But Matt, quickly, man, Sam Gagner on waivers, man. I know you're sad to see that.
Heartbreaking day.
I was, but then he eventually cleared waivers. Now he's down in Bakersfield.
So he'll be back.
He will be back.
How's he been playing, by the way? Decent,
Oh,
sensational playing.
fantastic! He's been awesome in our bottom six,
Yeah, nice
but
job.
Knobloch has been fairly uh, stubborn to playing Gagne every game.
Well, Knobloch is just a Connor Brown truther at the end of the day. So at the end, it makes sense. But
Yeah.
Matt, aside from that, the Oilers did make another depth piece. If you can quickly talk about the Troy Stetcher trade, I think it's a good, solid depth deal. Nothing too big to talk about, but talk about it in relation to the Oilers' defense.
Yeah. I mean, Troy Stetcher, just another insurance piece for the Oilers, just in case if things do go south in the playoffs with the defense, which it probably will. Looking at who we have on the right side, I like Vinny Desharnais, but like him in the playoffs, like last year he had a very rough playoffs, and with him with top four, I don't think he's quite ready for it yet compared to like Evan Bouchard, which has just gone leaps and bounds, but against tough teams, Desharnais kind of struggles. So with Stetcher, he could probably slot in there, hopefully, maybe. Uh, but other than that, like I said, that piece, I'm not mad at that at all. I have a friend who's a Canucks fan. He says like Troy Stetcher, like he will work.
Solid
Like
player.
he's not
Yeah,
lazy. So
every team has gone to playoffs have good things. Like
yeah,
he's never been more than a bottom pair depth guy, but you need those. You do,
you do,
you need those.
you
So
do.
yeah, of course. But overall, a solid trade deadline, I think, for Ken Holland. I think
Eh,
you would
I'm
have. I think you would have maybe liked to see another defenseman come in, like on the right side.
on that red side, yeah.
Yeah, but
Or
there wasn't
even like
there wasn't much going on though. That's the problem. There wasn't much going
n
on.
no, there wasn't because there was always there was a hint where he wanted to get like I said, like a defenseman and like someone for the top six. Henrique probably not going to be in the top six. So he'll probably slide in at that 3C. But in the Western Arms race, you kind of expected Ken Holland for the amount that he gets paid and for, the analytics crew that the Oilers have employed so far. You expected a little more. You really did.
I don't know what more is though. There was I think what as we've been recording these videos, what I've learned is the teams that didn't get what they wanted, there wasn't stuff to go around.
But I mean, other teams
Like
made it work.
like
Like you
big
can
name
you can
rent.
see
I mean,
Vegas.
fuck, Vegas got everyone. You know what I
Vegas,
Yeah.
mean?
Vegas definitely made it work.
Yeah, no, but like I just think like you want Ken Holland to get someone, like Noah Hannington's already off the board. You don't want him to get Matt Dumba. Sean Walker's already in Colorado. Yes, I agree. Maybe those are guys Ken Holland should have went for. But I like the Adam Henrique ad, but after Adam Henrique, I think people are low on the Oilers prospects, generally speaking. Like the guy,
Yeah,
like, I just think they're low on them. So that's why you didn't see anything too crazy.
like every fan base kind of overrates their own prospects, but for me, outside of Broberg, there's not really a whole lot. Like you got Raphael Lavoie and Borgo, but I mean Borgo has dropped off steeply
He's
since he
just
got
not good.
drafted.
He's just
He's
not
no,
good.
he's not good.
Yeah,
So it's pretty much just Broberg and Lavoie.
yeah, and even Holloway's not like I don't think he's been amazing. But Matt, you still have that jersey, right? So guys,
Which one?
we'll see what the Oilers how Adam Henrique slots in. It's his first it's a new team for him after being on Anaheim for 7 years. 7 years he was on Anaheim for after spending 8 years in New Jersey. So I like that for them. Overall, guys, what grade are you giving Ken Holland's trade deadline?
I'm curious to see what Darius gives Holland. Darius, lead on.
I hate Ken Holland. No, I'm joking. You know what? They addressed a couple things that they needed. A little bit of depth. I feel like they didn't give up like too much. If that's fair.
No,
to
no
say.
roster players.
No roster players. They added to what they want to do. So I'm gonna give him a solid B.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a C. Like for
Yeah.
my personal expectations, it's C. Like I love the Henry trade, but it's just the wish list that was set out before the deadline compared to like what was brought in after the deadline. I mean, I expected a little more.
It's
Like not like
understandable.
Vegas, not like Vegas levels where you pick up like Tomas Hurdle, as the buzzer sounds, but I mean you expected a little more.
Yeah, definitely.
Gonna be also B plus for me. I like the Henry trade a lot. I think it's good for what the Oilers needed. Like I said earlier, I think you had an issue where they've already traded their first for Henry. The cup boards are pretty empty in terms of like prospects. I think, yeah, like we said, a lot of teams that were dealing with these guys didn't like those prospects. Sam Kirk is good after them. Troy Setch is good after them. I think what would have made it an A for me is if he gets that second pairing right hand shot defenseman. But those guys were at a premium, and they just
Yeah.
they just
If the Preds didn't suck, I think Alex Carrier would have been an Oiler today.
yeah, probably.
But I
He
mean,
would have been something.
The Preds went on that tear, and they're like, you know what? We'll keep our guys, except
Yeah,
for Trennan.
yeah. But
Well, it looks like they're
that
going to
being
make the
said,
playoffs, the Preds, but that's a
exactly.
story for another time.
With that being said, though, the Oilers, they're still, they still got Connor McDavid. So I think
And Connor
Matt,
Brown.
yeah,
Yeah, yes, they do.
So Matt, I think they will, be fine here.
For more content, visit our YouTube channel and check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to follow the guys on social media at Matt_Mondays, at Nick LaFlame, and at Darius Dominguez.